You know the names, you've seen the plays, but what about the stories behind the game? Welcome to Honorable Mentions with Tanner Morgan and Quinn Carroll, two teammates turned storytellers, breaking down life, film, and everything in between. From locker room laughs to real world lessons, nothing's off the record here. This is Honorable
Morgan to throw, has time, lost one near side for Tyler Johnson. He has the catch at the 10, down the sideline, touchdown! What a play! He's got all the double, the one at the 10, turns it up 5, touchdown! Minnesota Golden Gophers!
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Honorable Mentions podcast. I'm Quinn Carroll with Tanner Morgan. We got an elite guest with us. He's not an honorable mention. He's a first-team dude, first-team All-Big Ten, first-team All-American, Big Ten Lineman of the Year, 48th overall pick to the Houston Texans, now the starting left tackle for the Houston Texans, Aireontae Ersery. Thanks for joining, bro.
Hey. Yeah, round of applause.
Clap it up.
Round of applause for
great
Aireontae.
introduction. That was smooth, man. That was smooth.
Appreciate
Yes,
it. But no, just tell us a little bit about you coming to Minnesota, how you were kind of under-recruited dude, and they saw you at the camp and saw you with those blue shorts on. They called you old blue shorts. But
blue shorts.
Just talk about your recruitment for a little bit and how that came about and how you chose Minnesota.
Yeah, so I remember vividly. It was like a football camp, middle of nowhere in Missouri. It was like a 2-hour drive from where I lived at, and one of my other close friends, his name is Xavier. His mom like agreed to take us. So once we got the ride, everything else was gonna go smooth. Got there hot as hell. We waited around all day just to check in, sitting around. So people didn't stiffened up, and once we got in there, they ran it through like a quick, BS like warm up, and then they was like, "Okay, let's get ready. Put your pads on." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Nah." I had went off to the side and started doing my own little stretches. I had to get right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm finna go out here and try to compete. I don't want to pull nothing. I don't want to tear nothing. Like, I need to be able to go. So I made sure I tapped the water, went out there, balled out, and then specifically when I actually noticed Minnesota, it was when we did like these board drills, and it was like, "Nah, we want you to get up there." I'm like, "All right, bet." I go. Then he tell me to go again on the other side. Like I didn't get no break. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
after that, fast forward, camp is over. I met Coach Soraka. I think Coach Fleck flew in. He had like his 2 kids with him at the time, and then Coach Cal. And they all pretty much, it was love from the start, man. They was real serious about me getting me on campus and me playing at Minnesota. So I took it serious. I took it as an opportunity to like get away from where I was at, and really just try to excel somewhere else and do something different, and not stay home or, nothing like that. So I'm like fast forward like a week, they put me on a plane. We went down there. My mom just kept saying, "I love it here, son." Hey, and I ain't gonna leave this out either. They got me. They got me. I did not know Minnesota stayed cold that long. Hey, we came down there in the summertime, and it was beautiful. Y'all got the lake house, the restaurant lake, like everything was just beautiful. And my mom was like, "Yeah, I love it here. I love it here." So, once I got mom approval, it was pretty much over. I committed the same day I was down there. I was like, "Let's run it," and then I never looked back. Yeah.
And what year was
that
that?
quickly.
What year
that
was
was
that for
like
you?
that was when Tanner Morgan, y'all was going crazy. It was the 2019 season.
Okay.
Nice.
So was that like your junior year? Junior year
And
in high school?
Yep. And then I remember it was the Penn State game. I was at that game. You know that hood Tanner Morgan. I see you out there balling out. Yeah.
Hey, I did.
Yeah,
Big
you
time.
balled
Who were some of the guys on your OV for the summer splash?
I know it was like me, Glaze, D-Jack, I think Martez was there.
Shout out Tez Lou.
Yeah.
Louis Ted. Shout out. Um, trying to think who else. I think Tyrell. He was back at home. Yeah, that's why kind of when COVID kind of snuck up and
Mhm.
like people was getting scared, but
Hmm.
uh, it was a good amount of us. I don't remember everybody. I ain't gonna lie.
No, you're
Yeah,
good. I was just curious, right, on who the guys who, yeah, obviously
It
D-Jack,
was a
right?
good
You played
recruiting
with him in
class though.
college.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good recruiting class though.
for sure.
Yes, sir.
So talk about your development in Minnesota. Like like we said, kind of under recruited, coming out, and it's not like you were this big time recruit that Minnesota offered and you happened to come. Like they went and found you, and they figured that you need a little bit more development there. And Cali has been praised for developing guys. So talk about your development in
Yeah,
Minnesota and sticking with that.
yeah. So I'm glad you asked me that because I was gonna say this, but you asked the right question. So I remember on my official visit, the recruit's not supposed to be in the car with the coaches, but I was riding around with Callie, and I'm like, "Hey, bro, you think I got a shot at the league?" He was like, "Yeah, man. If you just, you keep your head down, you keep you work hard." And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"All right, bet," and did exactly that. Just follow the script, follow the plan. Coach Callie, like you just said, he does an unbelievable job developing guys, getting guys in the league, taking guys, where they want to go. That's what the coach's job is to do.
Hmm.
So we had our ups and downs, but I love the guy through and through. That's my guy. That's my right hand man.
Yeah. So your time in Minnesota, obviously, like the era of transfer portal and NIL was heavy in the last couple of years there, and I'm sure you had opportunities to go elsewhere. So talk about like your dedication to
Yeah,
Minnesota and um, staying there for 5 years.
yeah. As much as I used to talk about the code, I really loved it there, man. Like it was different. The culture was different. Everybody clicked well with each other. Coach Flake used to say, "You ain't gotta like them, but you gotta love them."
Mm-hmm.
And then that stuck with me. Like, and we with each other every day. Like we family. It's it's
Yeah,
like real
Hmm.
family oriented. But I just think that hold on, what was the question again? My bad.
just sticking at Minnesota when you could have probably transferred elsewhere.
Oh yeah. So um yeah, I just bro, it was like no thinking about it. I wasn't even, thinking about leaving at all. Money is not everything, you know what I'm saying? I'm a
Hmm.
firm believer in that. So um I knew I was around the right people, bro. I wasn't gonna leave my brothers like that.
Yeah. What would you say to guys nowadays, right? Where like Quinn talked about, like I'm sure you had opportunities to go elsewhere, especially that last year, and
Hmm.
it wasn't really a discussion for you. You wanted to stay in Minnesota and finish it out there, and that was you're an alumni of the Gophers, and it worked out for you. Second round draft pick, right? All the nine. What
Hmm.
would you say to somebody maybe who could leave and get more money to go play elsewhere? And you were left tackle, right? You played tackle, and that's a highly paid position in college football. Oh, and by the way, in the National Football League as well too. What would you tell a guy who is considering maybe I leave for my last year to go get a bag, uh, or should I stay at the school where I played with the same guys? Like, what would you tell somebody who's in that position today in the era that we're in now?
Mm, that's a good question. I would say for me, like, I just didn't want to leave any type of doubt. Like, oh, why did he transfer? Is he money hungry? It just raises a lot of questions, especially
Mm-hmm.
when you're going through an evaluation process. Cause you're gonna sit down in front of these GMs, you're gonna sit down in front of these teams, and they're gonna ask you a bunch of personal questions, and you gotta be ready to answer them. So um the best way for me was just stay where I was at. Cause I
Yeah.
seen guys like you just see it, like it got crazy. Guys transferring 2 or 3 times for the wrong reasons.
Hmm.
They just trying to collect the bag. Guys committing at a school, signing, and then uh, try to get in the transfer portal again. Go back to Bama. Like it get crazy. So um, I just kind of wanted to stay away from that. Like that's how we are as old linemen, though. Coach Cali, the Mushroom Society. You know, we thrive in the dark, man. It's a brotherhood, it's a bond. It's a little different on the O line. You know, I feel like the O line is pretty much we stay tight knit with each other. But like any other position, I see them like come and go. You don't really see too many O linemen like hitting the portal for real, especially if they like super tight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the grass isn't always greener on the other side, right? Like
yeah,
these
exactly.
dudes are transferring and then they're not even playing, which, you know, that definitely wouldn't have happened for you, but I'm glad you stayed in Minnesota. When did you feel like it clicked? Like from your freshman year, you know, starting to get developed, that you got older guys above you starting. I know didn't you start a game your freshman year in Nebraska, right?
Yeah, he did.
In COVID season. Like
COVID
when did you
season,
feel like
we had a lot of guys out.
Yeah, a lot.
When did you feel like it
Nathan
clicked
Bowe
for
started center that game too.
Both
you? JJ
he
Gaudet
did start
started,
center.
I think.
Yeah,
JJ Gaudet.
Yeah.
JJ was in there. Yes, sir. I remember that.
So when did you feel like it clicked for you that you were like, okay, I can do this at a very high level?
Honestly, I think it was like one fall camp that we had, and I remember like going up against Boye and going against Thomas Rush, Big O, who were like prospects, you know, legit prospects. And it was really just like my coaches, everybody around me, like just encouraging me, like you can really do this. Like you got a good shot, like, you know, Coach Fleck, you know, telling me, you know, so it's a little bit of that, man, because without them like uplifting me and encouraging me, like it helped me out a lot. You know what I'm saying? It meant a lot to me.
For sure. Tanner,
Yeah.
this is a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you're going into your 6th year as a quarterback in Minnesota, and you've got pretty much an entire new offensive line except for John Michael at center. And you got Tay, who's, what were you, a sophomore at the time? Or a redshirt
Yeah, I think that
freshman,
was my
sophomore for
sophomore
you
season.
to start at left tackle? What was that like,
Yeah.
seeing a dude like Aireontae kind of grow up in the program and earn his shot to go be a dog right away in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I think we're looking at Aireontae specifically, like even that Nebraska game, his first start, right? He was young, but you could see it. I mean, it was always like, it wasn't if, it was a matter of when
Yeah.
Aireontae would turn into a really, really good player.
Mhm.
And I think for me, like, I got to play with some really good offensive linemen. I mean, you look at it, Daniel Faalele,
Yeah.
you know, obviously you two, John Michael Schmitz, Connor Olson had a great career. Sam Schluter played in the NFL, right? I'm gonna leave
Yeah.
some names out. Nathan Bowe, and who am I leaving out? Who am I missing right
Chuck
now?
Filiaga.
Chuck Filiaga, Axel Rushmore, like guys who played with some really good offensive linemen, and I think those guys stayed together for a large portion of their careers. And so when some of those guys had to move on and they left, it was a no-brainer because I think there was people who were ready to step up. And with Tay, it was like he needs to get on the field now. Like we have to find a way to get this guy on the field no matter what.
Yeah.
And so there was like, man, look across the board. I feel like we have a pretty good shot. And then obviously Chuck came in and Chuck did a great job, and Axel did a great job that year too. I mean, and with Axel, it was really unique because there's a guy that I came in with, and you know, he was a walk-on from Holy Family Catholic High School here in Victoria, Minnesota, from small town Hutchinson. Nobody gave him a shot at all, and he was a great player his senior year. I mean, a phenomenal player. Right. And so, like, I always believed in those guys, but when you look at Tate specifically, it was like, all right, this dude is going to play in the league. There's no question about it. I mean, I think everybody knew that. It was just a matter of when it finally clicked for him and when he got the opportunity. And so for me, it was like, man, I get to play with Tay as my left tackle. Sweet. Like, let's ride. You know, and then Quinn, you came in, obviously. The year
holding down the other side, baby.
Yeah, right. And like,
that.
I think the coolest part for me, to be honest with you, is like that room. I think you guys did a great job of that, and they still do. Is like you could walk in there, and it was always like a good group of guys that got along. You know, maybe busted each other up a little bit, but a group of guys who were gritty, who worked really hard, and like was fun. Every time we did something together, like it was always a blast, no matter what the outcome was. And so, like that's what I look back at, and I'm like, man, those moments were pretty special and pretty unique. And obviously, like it's awesome to see what Tay's done in the NFL so far in his career, and how you got a lot of years left, to be playing football, and cool to look at it, and excited to see what God has in store for you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Tay, well,
Another thing I
what would
want to
you?
add on
Sorry,
that
go ahead.
too is that like having guys like John, Daniel Falele, I feel like you got to learn. Like I was in that learning, developing, like learning how to be a pro. Like what does it take? What does it look like? I had to get stronger mentally, physically, and and when Quinn came in there, it just helped boost me even more because when you just surround good players on good players, you talk about that iron sharpening iron. That's what it kind of was. It's like
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to be great. Everybody we taking initiative. We in meeting rooms. We watching film. People got class. But still trying to make it work and make this thing work because people at the end of the day, we all wanted to win and have fun. So you got to
Yeah.
do the unrequired what it took, and we did that. So, and that's the culture there. That's the culture that the guys left behind, what they built. So that's all I want to
Yeah.
add on that.
Well, you built that too, Tay, and the dudes in that
Yeah.
room now are looking at you in the NFL and they're like, I want to be like him. What do I got to do to get where he's at? So,
Yeah.
what would you say was your favorite memory as a Gopher? 'Cause you
Ooh.
probably got a lot of them. And I was
I
thinking
got a
about
lot
this
of
because
'em.
like when you're a true freshman and you get to start
Yeah.
at Nebraska, that's big time. And
Yeah.
so I'm sure that was fun for you. But I was just curious, among the other ones, what was your favorite?
Um, for me, I probably had to say, I think it's when we played West Virginia. I don't think I played that game. I was sitting back. I was watching, and I don't know if I was hurt or not. But I remember like Flex saying, it's your time. You're up. You're next. You're next up." And I
Mm-hmm.
remember Sam coming over there like encouraging me and telling me like, "Bro, you're gonna be a hell of a player. I wish you nothing but blessings. I know you're gonna blossom and do what you need to do." And it just like mutual respect. Like he
Yeah.
respected me as a young player and I respected him as an older player. And yeah, that's probably like my favorite memory that I remember vividly. But I got a bunch more though. I ain't gonna say those.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I remember Sam even talking about, when he was training of like Aireontae is going to be a top NFL draft pick. Like if he cleans up a couple things, like just everybody knew, right? And had
Yeah.
belief. And obviously we love Sam here on the HM podcast. Talk to us a
Shout
little
out
bit
Sam.
about the season that we're in now, right? Combine season is wrapped
Yeah.
up. Senior Bowl season is wrapped up. Talk about your process when you finish your senior year. You go play in the Senior Bowl. You have the
Yeah.
combine. Take us through that process and what it was like. What were you thinking as you were preparing to make your dream come true and get drafted?
Yeah, man. It was a lot of ups and downs during that short period amount of time. And I look at it all like a blessing. After the game, after my last game, I was hurt. So it's like I was trying to bounce back from that. And then I kind of like retweaked my ankle again. By this time, guys, we started training, guys started running and doing all different types of position drills. I couldn't really do too much until, the ankle was healed up pretty good. And I remember vividly, I was sitting in the training room and they was like, "Oh yeah, the Senior Bowl next week." I was like, "Next week?" I don't know if I'm ready for that. But
Mhm.
after having talks with like a doctor and they said you should like I should be good, brace it up and go down there. And, that's exactly what I did. And then had a little bit of some more failure. Like a week out before the combine, strained my hip real bad. And I was like, man, what am I doing wrong? Like, I feel like I was trying to get back healthy and then I just re-injured myself again. So, um, I look back on that stuff, man, I can't do nothing but thank God. God helped me push through that. I prayed every day I was at the combine, and I asked him to just give me the strength to go out here and do what I need to do and be the best Ariante. So,
Mm.
he did exactly that. He delivered.
Talk more about, you said, be the best Ariante. Are you trying to get at like not comparing yourself with other people in their stats? Because I feel like that's really common in those
Yeah,
settings, right? You're at a job interview with all these other offensive linemen and guys. Take
yeah.
us into how you kind of fought that comparison at the combine.
I think, being at the Senior Bowl, it was kind of like just a little bit of glimpse of what you was gonna get at the combine. You know, it was set up, structured. You know what I'm saying? You meet with all 32 different teams. You know, and then once you get to the combine, it's more so like formal, informal. You sit down, and the GM might be in there, the whole staff might be in there. You just never know. But the whole time, bro, really, I just had my binoculars on, like, you know, just not sell yourself, but like you want to, you know, they ask you a question, be able to answer, just be prepared. So, that was really just my main focus. I had my binoculars on. I knew a couple guys down there at the combine, and if you knew a guy, I felt like it kind of made you feel a little bit more at ease. Like, you know, he's going through this too. You know, I'm not
Right.
the only one that feel, you know, that got anxiety or, you know,
Mm.
people can say what they want to say. Everybody down there, you know, had a little some type of anxiety or like, you know, because the tension was as high and, you know, we had meetings all day. They were kind of like just tossing us around. So,
Yeah.
it was very nerve wracking, but getting through it, man, looking back on it, it's like, man, it's just part of the process. Like, you got to go through it. Everybody
Right.
else does.
Yeah. And at the Senior Bowl, obviously you're watching guys. I mean, one-on-ones for O lineman, D lineman are the biggest thing. So you're watching guys.
Exactly.
You're watching guys go and they're getting dumped on their head. Like, how were you able to? And we got clips from that year, but how were you able to, you know, kind of lock in and do your own thing and not worry about, you know, oh, that guy just ran through his face and now he's you know, lining up across from you. I'm thinking about the
Yeah.
dude from Marshall. I forget his name, but like he was
Yeah.
tearing people up, and then the next thing I know, I see a clip of you clamping him. So how were you kind of
Yeah.
just like locked in on your details, even though you were battling an ankle and all those things?
Man, I swear, like when you hit that field, bro, you don't even really think about that. All you thinking about is how can I win? Like quick as
Yeah.
possible and make sure it looks good. Like, you know, like making sure you on your details. Like he got ran over, but I knew in my head, I'm like, it's just confidence. Like I knew he wasn't gonna run me over. He's like 230. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
I felt like the scouts kind of knew, you know, we was flipping back and forth. Like I went right tackle, I went left tackle because they just wanted to, like the scouts asked and just kind of wanted to see. But like, you right though, man. Like seeing somebody get dumped on their head, you like, whoa, you know, you get a little shocked, but you like, I know he didn't just do that, you know.
Yeah.
And, and like in my mind, you know, help the guy up, you know, encourage him, and hey, you know, you get run over, you still can go first round. It don't matter.
True.
No, I'm just playing.
True. Yeah. Hey, take us through.
I ain't get ran over that one time.
You got ran over?
I said I did not.
No.
If you did,
No, I
we
did
were
not.
gonna pull a clip and post it.
Yeah, that you know how I just got too much pride. Like I can't sit there and get ran over like that. You know? Nah.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Hey, the guests don't know this, but Tanner, you might know this. If in the Minnesota O-line room, if you get put on your back, it's called a reverse nasty. So like a nasty is when you dump somebody, but a reverse nasty is when you get put on your back. So we called it a rev nasty. And we were always pulling for somebody to get on the grade sheet a rev nasty. Like, oh, I think Tay might have got put on his back there, but Tay was always fighting
Yeah,
for
we
it.
be in
He
there.
was like, no,
That
is
was one of
not a
my
rev.
favorite things is walking out to the practice field of like, bro, that was definitely a rev nasty. No, it wasn't. The back and forth of what was a rev and what was not a rev nasty.
Yeah.
Maybe we should clearly define that black and white.
I got revved one time.
Nah.
I got revved against Michigan State one time. I was linebacker. I didn't see him, and he totally ear-holed me. But the guys loved it in the O-line room. They thought it was hilarious. Tay, take us through, fast forward a couple weeks, you know, or a month after Senior Bowl, Combine, all that. Take us through draft day and that whole process. I know you were, you know, kind of a fringe 1-2 guy, so I'm sure you were paying attention on day one. And then you hear your name called on day two. Just tell us about that and the wave of emotions.
Yeah, man. You know, first night it didn't go as I wanted to, you know, but that's okay, you know. So I was just hoping to hear my name called second day, early. So, just kind of it's a lot of waiting around, anticipation, because in between the times where they get the pick, it's like 8 or 9 minutes. Some teams might go ahead; they probably already got they pick they want.
Yeah.
So, I think it's just like the anticipation, being around the guys. They trying to see where you gonna go. Mom trying to see where her son gonna be. I
Yeah.
had pops there. I had damn near everybody there. And the second day, like we had like the camera, the news people, the local news people pull up. So they ask questions and stuff like that. So I waited probably like 15, 20 minutes, and then when Houston called me, I was like, yes. Yes, this is a play. This is like a spot I wanted to go to, like one of the spots I wanted to go
Really?
to. So to be able to, play for Houston, it was a blessing, man. Me, Nick Casario, D'Amico, Nick, other guy, just guys on the staff. Like I felt like we all just kind of meshed well, and they knew what type of player they was getting. They knew my goals, what I wanted to do, and they were all for it. Like.
Yeah.
So it was a smooth transition. Me getting down here, I remember hitting Stroud up, or he hit me up, I hit him back, and I was like, oh yeah, it's on, bro, it's
Mhm.
on,
Tell us a
yeah,
little bit about that, the transition, right? I mean, people
yeah,
talk about that rookie year being one of the longest years of your life. Tell us about,
yes,
maybe the length of your rookie year, but also, you get to go play with a guy who's coming off a great year. CJ Stroud, phenomenal
yeah,
quarterback. What it's like protecting him,
yeah,
getting to play with him, right? A
yeah,
Ohio State legend and
yeah,
just a phenomenal quarterback, right? You're going into a unique situation. D'Amico Ryan's phenomenal head coach,
yeah,
right? The whole nine. Take it where you want to take it, but kind of focus on the length of that rookie year and then your relationship with CJ Stroud as well.
yeah, bro. They nobody lying when they say the rookie year is the longest year. You literally. You get down here, we're working out, you go to OTAs, you get playbook thrown at you. Now you got to learn different techniques, trying to do it the way the coach likes it, shaking off my Minnesota habits. And really just building that callus, it's in the league, it's a little bit more faster, a little bit more like intense. So getting used to that, like my body wise, like mentally being able to take care of that, kind of reset, flush. But the biggest thing really is just like guys who stay around a training room all day, or who stay around, in the meeting rooms and stuff like that. Those are ones who are really trying to be great. Those are ones you
Hmm.
want to kind of look up to, who you want to kind of get around and be around. Cause like taking care of your body is the biggest thing. Like we can't forget sleep. You gotta make sure you get sleep too. Just taking care of your body. I think what kind of helped me get through the stretch. I had little nicks and bumps here and there, now, recovering from the thumb, but like for the most part, I think I stayed pretty much healthy, and that's just a credit, to me doing the extra work. But it all come at you fast, man. Meeting all your teammates, getting out there. You got a new offensive line coach, somebody new. I'm so used to Cali. D'Amico Ryan's is such a defensive minded coach. He played for
Hmm.
Bama. Then he got drafted by Houston. They brung him back to be the head coach. And like Nick Casario was with the Patriots for so long, so it's like it's a Patriots system, Patriots. So they just kind of added guys, here and there. And I don't know. I feel like, bro, we got close last year. So like we got another good shot this year with that defense, bro. So like we be any game, any
Yeah.
given time, you know.
Hey,
So it's definitely,
speaking of that
yeah,
defense, did you have like a welcome to the NFL moment with Daniil
uh,
Hunter, Will Anderson
yeah.
Jr., those dudes across from you?
I'm a I'm gonna say with I got some both of those guys. You know, at first they were kind of like figuring me out. I was kind of figuring them out. Then like one day I said, "Yeah, I got him. I got him." We was in the middle of camp. I said, "Yeah, I got him, coach." I kept telling coach, "I got him." He's like, "Okay." So I go out there. I think we probably like halfway through practice, and it's like a team period, ones on ones, and then Daniil hit me with like you probably seen the move before where he hit you like he exploded off the ball, hit you with a cross chop Euro.
Yeah.
And because bro had me in the days, I turned around like this, with my hands up, like, what do you want me to do about that, bro? Like,
Yeah.
it's like guys like that, them type of guys that make you better because you just never know what they might do. The thing that you want to do, you just want to stay disciplined on your technique. And then with Will is like power. I looked at him kind of undersized him, but he got some power. He got some power,
Yeah.
especially if you let him get up under. We didn't bump heads a few times, So I would say Will, power. You just kind of like when you look at him, you don't really think that he's that powerful, but he is. He is.
Yeah.
So
I remember watching him in Alabama putting dudes on their back left and right. I was like,
yeah, bro, he different. He different. And he's finna get that bag too, man. Happy for him.
Yeah.
Deservedly
For
so.
sure. For
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Tay, I got a question for you.
Yep.
Let's go back to college football, right? College football changed a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it changes a lot. It feels like every single day. But when you were playing, the landscape changed a lot, right? To where like that, that last year, you probably had opportunities to go somewhere else. Didn't even entertain them. The playoff, right? The playoff is a very hot topic that gets talked about right now. And right this very moment, as we are recording, it is a popular conversation. You play with a lot of guys who played in the SEC. You play with a lot of guys who played in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Ten has proposed a 24-team playoff. Now, this is all hypothetical right now. 24 teams. What are your thoughts? Do you think that's a good idea, bad idea, or somewhere in the middle that a 24-team playoff would be good for college football? What do you think?
Man, that's tough because you already were playing with like 12 regular season, and then now you're finna jump on into the playoffs and play 24, 24 straight games.
Well, it wouldn't be. It'd be 24 teams, right?
Oh,
So,
okay.
but
So they set it up. So how many games would that actually be?
If
let
you
me
got
do
a
the
bye,
math
it'd be
here.
4. But if you were,
4. So what, like
If-
16?
yeah.
I think in general, my biggest thing is, okay, if you're 24 teams, that's basically just going to be a ton of Big Ten, SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Big 12 had a great year, ACC. Like, what does that look like? And then if you go 24 teams, like, there's no way you have bowl games. Can't, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do it.
I think it.
So what does that look like?
I think it might be a little too tough on the body. But then again, they could argue with, hey, we paying y'all now, so it's like,
Yeah, but they're still student athletes. There's no CBA right now. They're
right. So it
student
got to be
athletes.
something in place to protect them.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
that's coming soon. But I just thought it was interesting. That's a hot topic right now of, what should the playoff look like? And it seems like everybody wants to just keep expanding, which, I mean, I'm all for more football, but I don't want to lose the fact of, like, the bowl games are great. I like bowl games, but how long are they able to sustain, right? We're losing more bowl games. I think we lost 5 total bowl games now. So, and Detroit being one of them, RIP, the Detroit bowl game
Damn.
is no longer a
we
thing.
love Detroit.
Okay, what was it? In
Tay loves
23.
Detroit.
What was
We
it
love
called?
Detroit.
The
Quick Lane Bowl.
Quick Lane Bowl still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
back in the day, it
once
used to
you
be the
get
Little
out-
Caesars Bowl, but it's gone.
Once you get out of the top
Yeah,
10,
hot and ready, baby. Hot and ready.
Once you get out of the
Little
top
Caesars
10
Bowl.
teams, bro, like the rest of those 14 teams, if they went 24, would not really stand a chance. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's why I think
Yeah.
12 is good, because like those teams could mess around and be in it. Like Miami was 10 seed, I think.
Right.
But 24 teams, like those lower tier teams, or I guess, anywhere from 13 to 24 would not compete with some of those better teams.
Yeah, but to be fair, we said that about James Madison and Tulane when Tulane played Ole Miss. And they got bodied. James Madison got bodied by Oregon, and then Oregon gets demolished by Indiana. But yeah, like obviously as time goes on, those teams are going to be harder, which James Madison I think is going to be good for years to come with Billy Napier leading the charge for the
Yeah.
Dukes. I think they're going to be sneaky, a continually good team, even though Billy Napier didn't have a great run at Florida. But when he was at Louisiana Monroe, a little Fun Belt action, they were balling. But Tate,
Fun Belt.
in the playoff, like in college football, that's a lot of pressure for these guys. You've dealt with pressure a lot in your life,
Yeah.
right? Whether it's off the field, on the field. Tell us about how you handle the pressure just from a situation of being an NFL tackle, playing in the NFL, getting drafted high. What does that pressure look like, and how do you approach the pressure that you walk in? Our coach, PJ Flex, says that pressure is a privilege, and I believe that is very true. Pressure is a privilege, right? And you're a guy who is privileged to have a lot of pressure on him. How do you handle the pressure?
I think it's first off, just having good faith. Whoever you believe in. Just having a good foundation. Like your family, your friends. Maybe a little hobby like the game or something that you like to do to kind of get your mind away from you, because it is a lot of pressure. But we all men, we built for it. So I think also like your circle too, who you have around you, is they encourage you or they encourage you to do the wrong things. I think in our room, we kept each other on each other's toes, and that's a blessing, because not a lot of college rooms, O-line rooms, like get that. So to be able to have that, and then let's fast forward to the lead. The lead is like, and once you put in the back of your mind that you here for a reason, everything just starts to flow. But it is a lot thrown at you at first. But once you got it, you got it. Then now you can just go play. Now you can go play ball. You can go play fast. Now you ain't got to think about nothing. So, it just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of faith. I had some great vets, like Titus, Cam, Lakin, great vets in the room, who had a ton of experience and see any and everything, can tell you about this, about that. Super resourceful. And having guys like that, bro, it just helps. It just helps you out, like, especially if they know you're trying to do good and they know you know that you're hungry and you want to be good, like you want to be great.
Yeah. How was it meshing with
Good
that
point.
O-line when you first showed up? Like, you got vets in the room, you got dudes who were, only a year or two older than you, competing for the same
Yeah.
position. So, how was that relationship when you first showed up?
I think like when we first showed up, it was like a little bit intense, because at the end of the day, we all got a job and, everybody's trying to fight for a starting role, everybody's kiki ha ha, but when you get to the field, that's when you really get to showcase. But for the most part, I think our room was, it meshed well. It wasn't really like no animosity or anything like that going on. Cause it was like the beginning, like camp and all that's like the beginning. You don't know who's gonna start. You don't know, somebody might get hurt in camp. You don't know. So,
Yeah.
and then like guys like understood, like, just be ready whenever the time comes. But it was fun though, man. That whole rookie thing, it wasn't as bad, it wasn't as bad.
What'd you get hit for?
I ain't, the thing I did was I made sure they were straight.
Shh, we don't talk about the dinner. Don't tell them. Don't tell the rest of the dudes who are watching the podcast.
Don't rat
you got
on
the
yourself.
dinner. Yeah.
Man, listen,
John Michael will not be
all
happy.
my vets are gone. All my vets are gone. Only person that's still here is probably J-Pat and Jake. That's it.
Okay, so as you're,
So
let's say
I'm
you're
low key kind of smooth, unless they don't.
okay, yeah, but let's flip the switch on its head. Let's say you're 5 year in the NFL, right? You're going to year 6, right?
Yeah.
And boom, they draft a tackle, play opposite of you.
Yeah.
Are you taking care of him? You saying, hey, we're not going to do the rookie dinner, like, you straight? Or are you saying, nah, like, we're going to have a rookie dinner and run it up? Or option C, do you have the dinner and maybe you split the bill with him because you never had to do that? And you're in second contract already. So, what would you do, hypothetically speaking? We're looking down the road right now, but I love this. I love the hypothetical world we're in.
Yeah. I feel like they got to be discussed as an O-line. You know, everybody got to vote. You got to be some type of structure.
Yeah.
You know, but it's been plenty of times like where we'll go be out to eat or something like that at a high-end restaurant. I'm like, hey, I'll cover the bill. This count as this messing with them, you know. I'm like, I
Yeah.
just count as my rookie today's like, nah, wait, we got some other spots we go probably take you. I'm like, oh my God, they gonna hit me over the head. So we at that point we used to just joke about it. Like
Right.
I didn't know if it was gonna happen or not, but I think right now we in the green, bro. I think we good.
Don't remind him. You straight. You straight.
Yeah.
But you didn't answer my question.
No.
Would you still make a rookie do their rookie dinner even though you didn't have to officially pay for one, even though you took care of people in a lot of other ways financially? Would you make a rookie have a rookie dinner?
Yeah, if it'll just depend on where they got drafted. If it first, second round, yeah. But if they, anywhere, because I know how the money is, you don't want to
Right.
kind of do them like that. But if first, second round, I would say yes. But anything else, probably not.
And then the second rounder says, "But you were a second round pick. You didn't have a rookie dinner." What's your response?
He ain't gonna know. He ain't gonna know.
Yeah, he's never gonna see this. Deleted files.
Nobody's gonna tell him that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Somebody said, "Oh, Tater, he didn't have a rookie dinner." You know, he's not gonna know.
Oh man, so good, so good.
Yes, sir.
So what are you up
All right,
to
Tay,
now? I know you're in. Sorry, you're. I know you're down in
go ahead,
Houston.
Quinn.
I know you're down in Houston. But like this off season, do you take a little trip? Were you back home for a little bit, or what you been up to? And then, what are you most looking forward to in year 2?
Yeah. Off season, really just, I play a lot of ball. So just trying to get my body back right, take a little bit of time off.
Yeah.
Let my mind sharpen up and, just kind of do the things I enjoy, like playing the game, seeing my family, maybe trying some new food or something like that. And then, what was the second part you asked me again?
Yeah, just what you're looking forward to most in year 2.
Yeah. I think this year I want to be a little bit more vocal. Lead the guys the right way, show them how it's done. Show them that you got to you got to go out here, you got to be physical. You can't go out here and play pity pat.
Yeah.
This kind of just that mindset every day, just that seriousness that like when it's time to lock in, it's time to lock in, it's time to go. Because I don't know, like I seen what it takes, what it looks like, and I just want to, I just be a blessing to the game. Really, like I don't know how to explain what I'm really trying to say, but like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm really, bro. This year, bro, I really want to just take off as a player. Like now, like I said, I got a year under my belt. Familiar with the team, like just everything. I got high goals, bro. So we're gonna have
Yeah.
a good year this year.
That's awesome. I got one more question before we get to our last little thing. When it's all said and done for you, Tay, I know you got many, many years of football left ahead of you.
Yeah.
But when it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered as a player, as a person, whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, for me, bro, I just want to be remembered as, a good person, somebody, that's you can always talk to about anything. Somebody, that's trustworthy, that can go out there and do the job, be consistent. I want to be remembered as a good brother, a good father, a husband, when it's
Yeah.
finally time to walk away. Or whenever I'm dead and gone, I just want to be remembered as, Aireontae. When people say my name, like he was a good person, he was a good kid. He always was a fun, good time, good laughs. He worked hard. Stayed out the way, kept his nose clean. That's it.
And one
In
hell
all
of a
honesty,
football
because
player.
it ain't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't about
Amen.
the money or nothing. It's just life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Honorable Mention podcast, right?
Yeah.
Make sure everybody likes, follows, subscribes right now. Go hit the button below the Honorable
Go hit that
Mention
button
podcast.
right now.
Yeah, and just to our listeners as well, right? We're we're a little bit behind on our audience questions and feedback, but please continue to submit those questions. We're going to get back to them. We've been heavy on the interviews right now, but we're going to get back. We might do a whole episode of just answering questions, Q&A. So make sure you submit your questions. Still do that. We are still actively doing that. We just wanted to focus right now while we're in the off season on getting some of these great interviews in, like Aireontae Ersery, the 48th overall pick to the Houston Texans, and our brother Aireontae. I said this is the Honorable Mention podcast. I want you to honorably mention one of your teammates, past or current, who might not get the spotlight like a CJ Stroud or like one of the star players like a Will Anderson, or your time at the Gophers like a Daniel Jackson. Is there somebody that you want to honorably mention right now who's maybe an unsung hero? Maybe it's somebody even in the facility. Could be a player or a staff member. Who would you like to shout out right now and tell us why you're picking them?
First off the bat, my dog Q. I gotta say, my dog.
Yeah. That's you had to do that though, because he's right here. So but we love
real talk though, man. He came in and he came in fierce, ready to lead, ready to, he wanted to win. And I was all for it, He was a great leader, great person to be around. And really, I think just watching him be as a player, like it just helped me out,
Yeah,
he was
awesome.
much needed for the room. We needed Q, and I'm glad we got Q, and he came over here after Notre Dame.
Appreciate you, Tay.
But for sure, and then another player I'd probably say is man, it's so many guys though.
First one that comes to your mind.
Derek LeCapin.
Oh, legend.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember
That's a
when
great
we
pick.
I think we was blowing out Northwestern. He came in at running back. The guy just selfless. He'll do whatever it takes. He just loves football. Like you can't ask for much more than that. Like God loves football. He'll do what it takes. He'll play O-line if we needed him on the O-line.
He was toting that thing that day too. He was toting the rock.
And when he got the touch, that's like one of my favorite memories. Like him going out there and scoring, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
he's
man, and that was a tough year because we had a lot of injuries too.
Right. I mean, I think even that day, Bucky Irving, Kai got hurt, and like we literally needed a back. We were ahead in the game, and Derek said, "I'll do it," and had studied that week specifically just on like the base run game, some of the protection calls, and it was like, "Hey, just come in the game. Tanner can help you out on where to go." And then when he got in with Zach, it was, easy. Really, really cool moment. We think the world of Derek the captain on this podcast. All right,
we got to get him on.
Yeah, we do. They
gotta get my dog on
for sure. We do a special segment that we call the honor roll. All right. Now you have two ways to spin this. You can give a shout out to something that you really like. Honor roll this week could be, a hot cup of coffee at the start of training camp, get you going. Something like that. It could be O-line cabin days at Quinn's house. Whatever it may be, right? Endless whatever it may be. Or it could be something that you really just, don't like, dishonorable mention. Okay, so we're going to go. John Michael did 3. I usually do 2. JMS couldn't pick one, so John just said, I'm going to give 3. And he rattled 3 right off, in John Michael standard. So Quinn's going to go first if Quinn has his.
Yeah,
I'll go to me. And then we're going to give you the main spot and let you finish with your honor roll, and then we'll close out. So, Quinn, what do you got for your honor roll this week?
All right. Yep. My honor roll this week, my oldest brother and his wife just gave birth to my parents' 7th grandchild. So I'm an uncle times 7 now.
Shout out.
So
let's go.
My honor roll this week is just being an uncle, dude. Like, it is so much fun being home.
You give uncle vibes
my
too,
siblings.
for real.
Unk? I'm Unk already?
Yeah, you give not like Unk. Like you give like fun uncle vibes for real though. I
Yeah,
totally see it.
I try to get them the best gifts and stuff. I got my one part of the family, my niece and nephew, got them both Nerf guns for Christmas, and they were opening them, and my brother
Nice.
looks at me, he was like, because he knew they were just going to be
For
fighting
real?
each other with the Nerf guns. But anyway, I
Yeah.
love being an uncle. I love being around them. It's so much fun. And just like when a little kid loves you, like there's nothing better on earth. And Tanner, I
Mhm.
know you got kids. Tay, are you an uncle yet?
Yeah, I got 3 nephews and 1 niece.
Yeah. So you know how it is, but
So yeah, I know exactly how
Yeah.
they're so adorable
yeah. But that's
and little.
my honor roll.
I
Tanner,
love
you
it. It's
probably
a
got
great
2?
honor roll. Yeah, I do. My honor roll number 1 is going to be when you live in the Midwest, the fake spring. Right? Kind of
Mm,
mentioned it in different ways before, but like that, you'll get a stretch of days where it's like 55, 60, and
then it's
you think
back.
things are going well, and then the winter just comes back and it's 10 degrees the next day. Now the light is at the end of the tunnel. We're getting there. Tay's like, I'm in Houston, ain't gotta worry about that no more, but
No,
we're all
sir.
right. So I think fake spring for real, because those days you maximize them and it makes you realize, it makes you thankful for when you get to go outside and get to do things. And I think that's why in Minnesota, Wisconsin and those areas, people are outside all the time in the summer, always doing stuff outside, taking full advantage of it. And it's not like 120 degrees. That's why I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
great place to live. That's my opinion. But my second honor roll is going to be things that just make sense. So I'm not even going to give an example, but things that maybe you're praying for, and then you get a text message from somebody or a sign. And so things that just make sense and it's from God, that is a huge honor roll. And I think those are things that we should not ignore. And we got to make sure that we listen to those things. So that's my second honor roll, things that make sense. When you get those signs from the Lord, listen to them and obey them. So there we go. Tay, what's your honor roll?
I think my first honor roll would probably have to be being able to like have a real Christmas last year with the fam at my house.
Mm-hmm.
I really took my time and bought a tree and the whole nine, the ornaments, decorated my house, all that, and then have everybody around and see the smile on their
Yeah.
faces, like opening up their gifts. Um, it really just warms my heart, Um, and I know that, they proud of me. They always support me. And
Mm-hmm.
I just want to do the same thing for them and, put a smile on their face. So
That's
that's my
cool.
first honorable mention. And then my second one, man, like you said, I want to just give, my thanks, to the Almighty. And, I appreciate him for everything he's done for me. Um, the times I was in the dark tunnel and he
Mm,
drugged me out of there and, told me to keep my head up, chest out, and just keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because like you said, you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
mhm.
It's gonna
For
be
sure.
hard days, it's gonna be dark days, it's gonna be fun days, it's gonna be Sunday. So my main thing is just really just like you said, pay attention to those signs, and when they
Mhm.
do show up, make sure that you really paying attention to them because they not there for no reason. So, I would just say, God.
That's great.
No doubt. I love it. Well,
That's probably
hey,
the best honor roll
maybe
we've
you're,
ever had.
yeah, for sure. Maybe you're listening today and you feel like you're getting a sign. Hey, Quinn and I would love to chat about that actually. So if you feel like you're getting a sign and want to chat more about it, hit us up at the Honorable Mention Podcast. Uh, please make sure you like, subscribe, follow, share this episode with your friends. We want to continue to do these. We love getting the opportunity to interview great guests like Aireontae Ersery. So like, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff. You know that you hear on every single podcast you ever listen to, but it really helps us out. Like, follow, subscribe, share our stories, share our Instagram reels, whatever it may be. But Aireontae Ersery, that concludes the episode, the very special episode with you, my friend. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. And
Appreciate
make
y'all,
sure
man.
you stay tuned in for things coming up, and make sure you follow the Houston Texans going into next season for the NFL, and watch out for Aireontae Ersery, year 2 in the league. Thanks for coming on, brother. And we appreciate you.
Appreciate
Appreciate you,
y'all, man.
Tay. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Bye.